The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
We are live from Radio Row, my 7th Super Bowl. We're live from the Bay Area. Of course, Super Bowl Sunday is 6 days away, but we have Jet news to discuss, and a very familiar face will join us to kick off our Super Bowl coverage. Live from San Fran, it's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Live from Radio Row in San Francisco, California. It's Super Bowl week, baby. Patriots and Seahawks rematch. Some of the biggest names in sports and entertainment will be right here. Put your seatbelts on and get ready, Asmaniacs. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Richie from Jets Media. Richie Stickers. Here you go. Here's a sticker for you, my man. He's joining us batting leadoff as the first of many special guests joining us live from Radio Row here in San Francisco. Richie, how we feeling?
What an honor to be batting leadoff here on the Jake Asman Show to kick off Radio Row. You had me on last year, Jake, for my rookie season at Radio Row. Now it's my sophomore year, year number 2 here at Roundtable Sports. It's an honor to be with you, Jake, as a friend. And, man, this is awesome.
I'm excited to have you on. I'm excited to talk about our miserable football team. But let's set the scene for people here. We're coming at you live from the Moscone Convention Center here in San Francisco. Richie and I each got in yesterday. We set up this morning. Place is starting to pick up. They're starting to give out the free wings from the bounty area. So that will be something we hit immediately after this stream. Behind us, you have every basic media outlet that covers sports in the country, plus a ton of international media. We're going to bring you some special guests, both with Jet ties and non-Jet ties throughout the week. It's going to be a lot of fun. This is my 7th Super Bowl. My first one was in Houston, where I ended up moving a year and a half later to do radio down there for almost 6 years. First ever Super Bowl was the Patriots, of course, taking on the Atlanta Falcons, the infamous 28-3 game. And here we are. It feels like old times. New England back in the game, Richie, which I know makes every Jet fan sick, but you know, at least we got our guy Sam Darnold trying to, slay the Patriot demons in this game. We'll all be rooting for Sam.
Oh, we're rooting for Sam hard. Every single Jets fan should be, man. The fact that the Patriots are back in the Super Bowl. Let me ask you this, though, real quick, Jake. I've had a lot of people ask me this. Who'd you rather have in the Super Bowl, hypothetically, if the Bills did not lose to Denver? It was Patriots-Bills in the AFC Championship game. We don't want either of them, but who would you rather see the Super Bowl in that scenario?
You know what? I think this might be the more unpopular opinion. I think I would rather New England from this standpoint. I think they have a worse chance of winning no matter who they would play, whereas Buffalo, if they were in, Josh Allen could single-handedly win them a game. And we've seen New England win. It will stink that they're going to win with a different coach and quarterback combo if they pull this off on Sunday. But the one thing the Jets have over the Bills is Buffalo has never won a Super Bowl. Why give them the chance to maybe end that? It's the one thing we have as Jet fans over the Bills at this point. So
exactly.
That's kind of why I leaned with I've already done the Patriots winning it all. I've experienced it 6 other times. They're here every year. This is my 7th Super Bowl. I think New England's been in the game in either 4 or 5 of them that I've done. So this is nothing new. So I think from that standpoint, I would lean with New England. But either way, it sucks. This is like,
100%.
Would you rather die by getting hit by a bus or a train? Like, you're dead either way.
I agree. We're literally aligned on that. The one thing that Jets fans have over Bills fans is that we got that Super Bowl trophy. Yeah, it came when, 1969. We understand that. But, hey, that's how I look at it. But the fact that we're here back at Radio Row, and Monday is where everything starts. It's going to get more hectic as the week progresses. It's so awesome, and I cannot wait to be able to interview Sam Darnold later today and interview other Patriots players. I mean, there's some former Jets representing here at the Super Bowl. We got Morgan Moses on the Patriots. We got Leonard Williams. Shout out Big Cat. We got, of course, Sam Darnold. Don't sleep on Jason Myers as well. So a lot of former Jets represented. But we want our Jets team in the Super Bowl, Jake. But hey, I don't know when that will happen.
hopefully you and I are around to experience that at some point. We got a lot to talk about. I want to remind people we are, in fact, presented by FanDuel Sportsbook right in front of me. You guys can't see it just because the way our camera's positioned. FanDuel is a monstrous set. So we will be bringing you some great content throughout the week from a betting perspective, courtesy of FanDuel. One final point on the Super Bowl before we get to what Daniel Jeremiah said about the New York Jets. The line right now is 4.5 for this game on Sunday. I know we got some time to adjust our picks and predictions, but what's your initial feel right now? Seattle, a 4.5-point favorite over New England on FanDuel. Give us your breakdown.
I've been saying this all throughout the season. I think the Seattle Seahawks, and they've proven it, of course, at this point, are the most complete football team in the entire National Football League from all three phases of the ball, offense, defense, and special teams. They can beat you in all phases, and I really think they have the upper hand from that perspective. But the one thing I will say that, unfortunately, you got to mention with the New England Patriots that I feel like gives them an edge in this matchup is coaching. I love Mike McDonald, of course, with the Seahawks, but, man, Mike Vrabel is a coach that you just have to be prepared for. He knows how to control the clock. He knows how to win fundamentally. He's going to get this Patriots team ready to go and prepared. I know that everybody's saying the Patriots have a cakewalk of a schedule, but they have to be able to beat the guys that's in front of them. So I'm curious to see what this matchup looks like. And it's really going to be about Sam Darnold. Like, what is he going to look like? Is he going to be able to slay those ghosts, right? Because the ghosts story started off with the New England Patriots back with the New York Jets. You know that the Patriots are watching the film of that game and all of the bad games that Sam Darnold has on display throughout his career. What type of looks is he going to look at? Sam Darnold's got to stay confident, stay cool, calm, and do not turn the ball over, and they'll be able to get the job done. But I feel like a 4.5-point line is pretty favorable. It makes the most sense.
I'll tell you what, we got one of your guys from Roundtable Sports, Justin, our intern. He's here helping me out. Justin, do me a favor, spin the tripod towards the side so everyone can see Sam Darnold on this giant banner here inside Radio Row to our left. I mean,
Sam,
this
man,
was supposed to be
what
the
up?
Jets. He's supposed to be in a Jet jersey doing that. And I'll be staring at that all week. Move it over a little bit more. Keep going. Boom, that's the two-shot right there. Put some tape down. Mark that. That's where we want to be. But again, it just shows you the Jets could actually draft the right player, but if you have terrible coaching, terrible infrastructure, you're not going to do right by that player. And it's why I look at the state of affairs with the Jets, and there's talk of, Ty Simpson or one of these quarterbacks. It's like that is a huge risk for the Jets to potentially take if you don't have faith in the head coach and the offensive coordinator and the infrastructure needed to actually develop one of these quarterbacks. It's why I was thrilled Dante Moore went back to school.
Oh, absolutely, man. And I feel like Sam Darnold, the Jets giving up on him too prematurely. But the big thing I have to say, too, is maybe Sam needed to leave the Jets to go on that journey to Carolina, to San Francisco, to Minnesota, to become the quarterback he is today. And how about Sam just being a class act, being asked on the Dan Patrick Show? Like, what do you have to say about your journey? And he says that New York has stopped there in Carolina. It's all part of his journey. He has every reason to say something bad about the New York Jets, but he just does not do that. That's why I think me and a lot of Jets fans around the world are super fortunate for Sam Darnold. We'll be rooting for him in this game.
No doubt about it. Good luck to Sam. Every Jet fan is certainly rallying around him. I want to remind people that while we're out here, we've added some new raffle prizes to hype people up. It's going to be tough to do the raffle given our infrequent taping schedule here. So we're going to save it for the end of the week. A Football Friday raffle. Our top prize, come on, you got to do something Namath and out of the Super Bowl, is a signed Joe Namath helmet. Our second prize is a Super Bowl III replica ticket display. It comes framed. It is epic for the man cave if you're a Jet fan out there. Prize 3 is a signed Garrett Wilson helmet. Prize 4 is a signed Joe Klecko jersey. And prize 5 is a signed C.J. Mosley jersey. So if you guys enter the raffle throughout the week, you'll be entered in that. I appreciate everyone who's tuned in. Your super chats, they go towards an unbelievable weekend or week experience here at the Super Bowl. And thanks to the Asmaniac community for making it possible to be able to broadcast our third live radio or YouTube show from Super Bowl Radio Row. I did a bunch as a radio talk show host, and this is the third time we've been all digital on YouTube. So thank you again to the Asmaniac community for making all that possible.
Shout out to Joe Namath, man. I love that you're doing a Joe Namath giveaway because without Joe Namath, where would be the Bills without Joe Namath? You know what I mean? We have no Super Bowl. Sorry, Justin.
You ain't wrong. Justin, by the way, he's a Bills fan, so he understands when I'm like, we can't give the Bills the one thing we have over them.
Oh,
so
I know.
He gets it. He understands. Now, let's discuss what Daniel Jeremiah said when he was a guest on the Rich Eisen show, specifically being asked about the Jets. So I'm going to play the clip, and then we will react. Here was DJ on with Rich talking about how the buzz in Mobile last week is the Jets potentially moving up or trying to move up to number 1 with the Raiders to take Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah, and I think the Jets would effort with all the picks that they've accumulated to try and see if they could pry that pick away from the Raiders. And the buzz down here amongst all the teams is there's no chance the Raiders would trade off of that pick.
You think the Jets would trade up for Fernando Mendoza?
I 100% think they would.
No kidding.
100%.
Whoa.
Yeah,
but they're not ready either. They're not ready either.
But it's irrelevant because they're not gonna pass up an opportunity to get Mendoza. I don't think the Raiders would do that.
So Mendoza people have fallen that deep in love with Fernando Mendoza atop this draft.
Oh, yeah, I think the way he finished everything up, and I mean, Rich, like to me, when you look at how he did on some big third downs, you look at how he did in the red zone, you look at how he did in big moments after getting drilled. We talked about that on Sunday,
right?
Just how he's reacted to that. So you get accuracy, you get toughness, you get somebody who's been big in big moments. That's a pretty good place to start. Oh, by the way, he's 6'5", he's big. You saw on the big run, touchdown run, he can move around enough. And I don't know that there's ever been a quarterback more equipped to not be distracted by Las Vegas than Fernando Mendoza.
Okay. So the Jets are going to try, and it's not going to – because I honestly thought, DJ, that the Jets getting picks in next year's draft is when they're going to be targeting their quarterback, and that may happen anyway. But you're saying it's because it won't be for a lack of trying to have the Raiders move off of Mendoza.
Yeah, I mean, this is just kind of that's the buzz down here was that, hey, the Jets, I mean, I'm not saying they would trade all their picks that they've accumulated, but, they're this close to being able to get a guy that they would, try and make an effort to do that. But it would be a moot point because they're not going to move off of it, that the Raiders seem to be pretty in love with Fernando Mendoza.
So, Richie, you heard that from Daniel Jeremiah. And again, this shouldn't surprise anyone. The Jets are at pick 2. They need a quarterback. They have 5 first-round picks over the next 2 years. At the bare minimum, if you're Darren Muji, you're calling the Raiders the same way they tried to call the Titans last year and see if they could get to number 1. It's the same thing now, so I'm not surprised. I just think, again, the Raiders, especially now after they hired Clint Kubiak as their head coach, offensive guy, he scouted the draft. He scouted Mendoza. He's like, I'll take the job because I know I could get a quarterback. I could win with that guy. So I think all signs point to the Raiders taking Mendoza, but the Jets are going to try. I just don't think it's going to really matter.
Yeah, due diligence. That meme, cue that meme with the blue button, and you just have that Jets due diligence. That's really what it all is. The Jets got to make the call. They got the capital to make it happen. But I agree. I do not see the Raiders moving off that pick. We all understand they went to the championship game down in Miami when Fernando Mendoza was representing Indiana. The entire Raiders, I think Tom Brady was there. Mark Davis was there. They're drafting Mendoza, so why not call? They maybe say, hey, this is the price, and the Jets be like, absolutely, let's do it. But at the end of the day, I really do not see the New York Jets getting Fernando Mendoza in a trade-up scenario, and it's only Jets for us to get the 2nd overall pick and for this quarterback class to not be a 2-quarterback class, right? It's those guys that in the mid-rounds, Ty Simpson and Garrett Nussmeier, that we're going to be having debates about whether you reach on them at 16 or you draft a guy in the 2nd round. Of course, there's not a quarterback for us to get at number 2. That's a no-brainer like we've seen in the last few years.
And again, even if there was an ideal quarterback, right now, you trust Aaron Glenn with that quarterback. You trust, an aging Frank Reich maybe as the offensive coordinator, or Greg Roman, who has basically been fired from every job he's had and has never had an elite passing offense in any of his stops.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem. The Jets draft quarterbacks, but they don't have the infrastructure in place to develop them. But you still got to take swings because the Jets got to find their quarterback. They can hit home runs all across. And the same thing with Joe Douglas. He had all the assets in the world. In my opinion, he hit a lot of really good picks, but he missed on Zach Wilson. He hit on Sauce. He hit on Garrett Wilson. He hit on Jermaine Johnson. Breece Hall built the team, but he whiffed on the quarterback position. If you do not get your quarterback, nothing else matters. And the Jets got to continue to try to do so. And there's so many options this offseason.
No doubt. Now, I do want to highlight a member of our chat, Asman Bootlicker, in here. Exactly, Jake. We can't trust Glenn with a rookie quarterback. It's nice to have Bootlicker supporting me as opposed to the Aaron Glenn Bootlickers out there who will defend anything the man does, including, you see the Jets fired yet another, or didn't fire. They lost yet another assistant coach. Their tight end coach is leaving the Jets to go join Todd Monken and have the same exact role in Cleveland. So that is now 10 assistant coaches after a year that Aaron Glenn is going to have to replace.
I think I saw a tweet from Zach Rosenblatt. He said, I think it's more important for us to note the coaches that are returning instead of the ones that are leaving, because it's really select few. I think the only ones that are staying are the wide receivers coach, Jefferson, and who else? I mean, you got like the offensive line coach is staying put, and then Chris Harris, and then Aaron Glenn. I mean, who else is staying? I think it's literally a handful of guys.
It's unbelievable. The latest on the OC search, from what we understand, is that you have 3 known finalists, the 3 guys with the most experience. That would be Darrell Bevel, Frank Reich, and Greg Roman. To me, if Frank Reich doesn't take the job, maybe it's over money. Because if Frank Reich's taking this job, he's going to want to be paid well, knowing it's probably a 1-year position. In all likelihood, there's a good chance that Glenn is done after a second year, for just being honest, Jet fans. So he's probably like, this is my last chance to get a big payday before I hang it up. He was thinking about retiring in the year that he was off from the NFL in 2024. Then Andrew Luck called him and said, we need you at Stanford. Can you do me a solid? And Frank Reich did him a solid. So if you don't get Frank Reich, I think it's because like he realized he had leverage after Engstrom was fired and was asking for money. And now you talk to Roman, you talk to Bevel, guys that have been OCs before, but none of these hires are going to inspire the Jet fan.
Yeah, I think that Frank Reich is a guy that, like, you look around the NFL, he's really the only guy that you can even say about who's available that you'd even have someone interested. But I want to get your thoughts of this. I have this dream scenario. It's not even a dream, but it's like what I would do if I was Aaron Glenn, or at least present this. Is there a world where the Jets can bring in Frank Reich as OC and you get the other two guys that you're bringing in for interviews, Bevel as pass game coordinator, Roman as run game coordinator?
Roman as the run game coordinator would be awesome with Frank Reich. It'd be probably the best Glenn can do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Some optimism for that.
For the guys that they're interviewing, do you think there is a world where these are the 3 finalists and they're not interviewing them and picking between OCs? It's like, okay, we know Frank Reich's going to be the guy. Now they're interviewing Roman and interviewing Bevel to be the run and pass game coordinators. That would be the best case scenario to really help build out, because with now Aaron Glenn taking on the defense, calling plays, this offensive coaching staff needs way more firepower, and that's the only way you can feel somewhat in confidence with that side of the ball.
No doubt. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Our first super chat from the Bay Area is an Asmaniac super chat from Chris. Richie stickers. How many stickers has Richie given out so far?
So the funny thing about the stickers is Jake has taken over. It's the Jake Asman Show stickers. I don't even have any Jets Media stickers on me. Jake's got all the stickers. So I think it's Jake's stickers, because I don't have any. You know what I got now? I got business cards. I got Roundtable Sports business cards. I'm handing out networking. But no stickers on me here. I only bring my stickers to Jets training camp, really.
I got some magnets I brought. I have like a mini football we'll throw around. So we're making it happen.
You have a mini football?
I do.
That's cool.
You want one?
Yeah, fun.
Well, I'll give you a Jake Asman mini football. Ah, man, I'm having some fun. Big thank you to everyone who's tuned in. We're live from Radio Row. Behind us is the convention center. It is gigantic. Justin, do us a favor. Give people another tour of what we're looking at here. Spin the camera around. Give people a little feel for the Radio Row environment. You have everything to the left of us, and then even to the right. Give them a little feel what the convention center is like. You got every Super Bowl banner up. I'm trying to find the Super Bowl 3 banner somewhere. I believe it's behind us somewhere. They go in order. So the Jets are represented in some capacity. Yeah, and they build this so quickly. I mean, think about what they have to put together with the teams that are in it. They get a week to put it together.
When I was here for the first time last year, what I didn't know, which blew my mind, was they literally build the Pat McAfee show has a studio. He's going to be here doing lives. They got the Kay Adams show. They got Bleacher Report. They got PFT. Like all the top sports shows in the media, they build the studios here and do it live from Radio Row. And it's just an absolute honor to be here, man. And it's awesome.
Let me lift the curtain as well. The NFL wants $1,100 for Ethernet Wi-Fi, and I don't want to pay. So as long as this looks okay and sounds okay, as Maniacs, I'm going to use the Wi-Fi that they have in the convention center that they claim is better than what it was in New Orleans a year ago.
Yeah, I wonder, for your sake and our sake, I hope that it doesn't get progressively worse as the week goes on. But this is perfect. I mean, the Wi-Fi looks absolutely fantastic. So you'd be saving some $1,100, baby.
Oh, man, it'd be nice. I'm going to need a lot of super chats to try and make up for an $1,100 hole like last year, which is crazy. You know, as far as some other topics with the Jets, we talked about Mendoza, of course. Let's say the Raiders, and this is, again, pie in the sky, hypothetical scenario. Let's say the Raiders actually were willing to listen. What's the most you personally would be willing to give up to move up one spot, assuming you believe Fernando Mendoza is worth it?
I mean, if you love the quarterback, I don't really care the price, to be honest.
3-1s, you would do it.
3-1. So you're talking.
Let's say obviously it's pick 2. Let's say it's 16
and next year's first.
And let's say the stipulation is the best of the 3-1s,
which is the Jets.
In all likelihood, unless like Dak or Jordan Love or the Colts pick.
Man, I know that the Jets pick is the most valuable. I hope the Jets just trade that pick away so I don't have to worry about the tank crowd next year. But listen, I think that you can sell me on obviously this year's second and 16 and maybe a second next year. I think that could potentially get it done because you're just moving up one spot. It's not like you're moving up 3 or 4 spots. Definitely this year's second overall, this year's 16th, and next year's first is a big price.
Yeah, I don't know if I would do it.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd do with that either.
I would be willing to trade 16 and one of our seconds. I would be willing to trade one of my ones next year and one of my seconds this year. I don't think I want to give up 3 first-round picks to move up one spot. I like Fernando Mendoza, but I think the Jets are going to have a new coach in 2027. I'd rather wait till 2027 and pair up that coach with that quarterback because, again, I don't care who the OC is. I have no faith in Glenn. I feel like we'd be putting Mendoza in a rough spot. I think he can handle it for a year. But then a year from now, we'd have a new coach, and you got to hope that that coach wants to coach Fernando Mendoza. Well, what if you're bad and you're in position to get Arch Manning or Julian Sayin or whoever, Dante Moore? Like, it kind of muddies up your timeline. Now, Glenn and Muji aren't going to think about it that way. They're going to try and make a move to win and preserve their jobs. But the fan in me is like, I don't want to trade 3 ones to move up only one spot.
Yeah, of course.
And again, I don't think the Raiders will do it. I'm going to be joined by someone on the show this week, Q Myers, who's one of the big-time Raiders talk show hosts on their flagship 920 a.m. in Las Vegas, get his perspective on what he's hearing. But, like, hypothetically, if the Raiders were open to it, I don't know if it makes sense.
Yeah, the one thing I will say that gives me confidence in a scenario where the Jets draft a quarterback, say it's Mendoza or any other guy, and Glenn does get canned, I wouldn't be too upset because look around the NFL. Drake May got drafted to the Patriots with Gerard Mayo. They moved on. They brought in Mike Vrabel. Now look at the New England Patriots. The Chicago Bears, they drafted Caleb Williams. He had an absolutely terrible coaching situation year number 1. They got Ben Johnson in year number 2. Now look at Caleb Williams, what he did. So it really doesn't matter. If you can pair up that quarterback in year 2, it's all about getting that right coach, of course, to pair up. So say hypothetically the Jets do draft a guy and then Aaron Glenn is eventually fired. They bring in a new coach. I wouldn't say that quarterback is super ruined. You just got to find that right guy to pair him up with it. It's really just a quarterback and head coach pairing, and it makes me sick that the Patriots got Mike Vrabel and Drake May. Like, are you kidding me? Extend that losing streak more.
You know what the thing is, too? They have Vrabel and Drake May, but their offensive coordinator and McDaniels, he's already been a head coach twice.
And he's not going anywhere.
So he's not going to get a third opportunity.
Yeah.
Just it very rarely happens, especially one who had a terrible record when he actually was a head coach. It's not like Mike McCarthy getting, for example, a third opportunity where he's won in his previous 2 stops. He's going to be there forever now. Like, Drake May's never going to have to worry about having all these different coordinators. Like, he's going to have stability at the OC spot with Mike Vrabel.
That's the thing that a lot of coaches have problems with. Look at the Philadelphia Eagles. You see all these coaches, they have great coordinators, and they get plucked away. That's
that happened to
happen
Vrabel in Tennessee. He lost LaFleur, who got hired, and he lost Arthur Smith, who got hired to be head coaches. And eventually you just run.
Not going anywhere.
Look at Todd Bowles. He finally had to keep hiring offensive coordinators because they kept getting poached. The Bucs took a step back this year.
Off topic, but still on. How about Mike LaFleur? I remember when the Jets hired him at OC. I'm like, I don't know if I want Mike LaFleur because what are we going to do when he becomes a head coach? What's the successor plan? Well, little did I know it would happen, just not from the Jets pipeline. He goes to underneath Sean McVay. Man, Mike LaFleur is a head coach, and Robert Saleh gets another gig, man. What are your thoughts of that?
It's just, I guess we shouldn't be surprised because basically if you worked for the Jets, you are going to get another chance because all the blame gets put on the Jets and Woody and not ever any responsibility for the people like Saleh, Douglas, LaFleur. Now, LaFleur, I think, was scapegoated. It's clear that it was a Zach Wilson problem, not a Mike LaFleur problem. I think LaFleur showed more in year 1 and year 2 than we saw from Tanner Engstrand, for example. But I'll throw it at you this way. 2029, would you be surprised if Tanner Engstrand's an NFL head coach?
Dude, I mean, based off of what we're seeing, no. I mean, he's now the pass game coordinator for Atlanta. I think next year he's probably going to get an OC play calling job for some team. And basically what you're looking around the NFL, it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time until a former Jets coach or a former Jets quarterback is going to become a guy somewhere.
Now, I want to give a shout out to one of our great listeners, Craig in Australia.
Yeah.
So Melbourne, Australia is here. They got a coffee stand at the
delicious
Inside Radio Row. They're promoting the Melbourne game that is taking place in 2026. We don't know the teams. We don't know the date of, or we might know the date of the game. We don't know the teams. But anyway, the Melbourne game here is pretty cool. They're giving out like Melbourne, Australia themed like lattes and cappuccinos. And I don't even know what I had, but it was excellent.
Yeah, I got a cappuccino, and I don't think I've never had cocoa sprinkled on top of a cappuccino before, but I guess that's an Australian thing.
Shout out to Craig
what did you just put in my coffee? He's like, oh, cocoa. I was like, oh, okay. It was actually fire. So shout out to it. I'm a big coffee guy.
Rams are in the Melbourne game, by the way.
Oh, the Rams are.
Horton in the chat. So the Rams are the home team. We don't know the away team. Maybe it'll be the Jets. I don't know.
Are we versing the Rams?
But let's see. Yeah. Do they play the Rams? They play the NFC West. They do play the Rams.
I thought they play the AFC West.
They play AFC West. And NFC West, correct? Yeah, Justin's giving me the nod.
Yeah.
They do.
Oh, we're
Well,
screwed.
actually, no, they play the NFC North. NFC North and AFC West. They don't play the Rams. They play the Chargers. That's the LA team they play.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But anyway, Rams are in Melbourne. Thank you to the NFL Melbourne for.
Someone in the chat asked, "Let's see those business cards." We got the business card right here, baby. We got this is the new stickers for me. You know, I'm handing them out. Like, hey, this is the new Richie stickers, Richie business cards, new nickname.
Man, comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Appreciate everyone who's tuned in here. If you got a question for Richie, jet related, anything you want us to hit, please let us know and we will bring it up.
You going to the media party tomorrow?
I think I will be there.
Did you RSVP for it?
I did. Now, here's the thing. The Warriors are playing the Sixers tomorrow. It's the only home game that they have when we're out here. I want to see the Chase Center because it's brand new. And
I know.
Awesome.
I was hoping to go to that too, and I looked at the schedule hoping it was like a Thursday or Friday. When are you flying out?
I fly out Saturday.
Yeah, same.
So unless someone offers me a free Super Bowl
Do you
ticket,
know where
I'm not
the
going.
media party is?
I didn't even look. Where is it?
Sick.
Oh, it's at the Met. Is it? It's over there?
No. Just giving you a clue. It's a secret.
Madden 26. Well, I know this Radio Row is sponsored by EA Sports. So you got some insight? Some intel?
EA headquarters.
Really?
Yeah.
You want to play some Madden tomorrow night?
Yeah, dude. That's sick.
Let's do it. Some super chats here. Asman Bootlicker is the first to send in a paid super chat. It's nice to have real bootlickers. You know, we've had the Glenn Bootlickers. It's nice to have one of our own.
Who wanna lick my boots?
Oh my gosh, Peter.
Asman Bootlicker wants to know, when is the Michael Clemens jersey raffle? I'll tell you what, Asman Bootlicker, if you gift 5 memberships, I will do a specific raffle for a Michael Clemens jersey. I can't guarantee you that it'll be a new Michael Clemens jersey, but I'll scour the internet to get you some sort of Michael Clemens jersey. Fire Aaron Glenn says, fire Aaron Glenn. Let me ask you this, Richie, because you're an optimist by nature. Have you ever seen the Jet fan base this out on a head coach this quickly?
No, I think after Salah's first year, there was some rumbling. So let's not forget how bad Salah's team was in year one, just from a defensive perspective. It was year 2 when the defense turned it around. So I feel like there were some people jumping off ship of Robert Saleh after year 1. I think the difference, too, I'll even bring up Adam Gase. You know, at least when the Jets hired Aaron Glenn initially last year, there was like, okay, Aaron Glenn, he feels like he's one of us. Let's give him a shot. When the Jets hired Adam Gase, I would say like 80% of the fans immediately was like, what are you doing? Maybe more.
And he actually went 7-9 in his first year.
Yeah.
With Darnold missing like 4 of the games with the mono situation.
Yeah, that was year 1 with Gase.
Yep. They started 1-7. We all wanted them fired. He never should have been hired. And then they finished 6-2 in the second half. Now those wins were against backup quarterbacks or like Matt Barkley, or that's the guy's name, the quarterback for the Bills that started the last game of the regular season. Like, there were some awful wins, but again, 7-9 is 7-9. That's actually the best winning percentage Joe Douglas had in any of his years as the Jets GM.
Who would have thought? Adam Gase better than Robert Saleh and Aaron Glenn to this point.
It's unbelievable. It stinks because we know how elite and special the Jet fan base is, and it just feels like you go 3-14, you fire both your coordinators, you're replacing 10 of 21 coaches after a year. The only thing you can compare it to is Hugh Jackson in Cleveland. Like, that's where we're at right now when you're discussing the Jets.
It's unprecedented waters that the Jets are entering, and it feels like you look at history, it tells you that the Jets, and Aaron Glenn knows this, there's a lot of pressure on him, and he knows he needs to do something this year in order to put a product on the field to be proud of. They look competent. They're not just competitive in losing. They're winning games because winning cures all. The New York Jets have to be competitive this upcoming year before Aaron Glenn can get any sense of confidence going into the 2027 offseason.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. This is our first live show from Radio Row. Had to have our guy Richie from Jets Media. Bat lead off. He's out here with the Roundtable Sports Crew.
Lindor, baby.
They got a ton of content coming your way. Make sure you guys follow Roundtable across social media. Subscribe to them on YouTube. We got the Jets Roundtable that Richie and Matt O'Leary and myself are a part of. So Roundtable is taking over the Super Bowl. So make sure you guys check that out. I know there's like a flash or something that keeps going off. This is our first stream here, so we're going to hammer out some of the technical
do a Radio Row
difficulties.
Jets Roundtable. We just got to schedule a time and get Matt O'Leary coming virtually.
We should.
It's me, you, and Matt. We will have to figure that out, what slot that could work. That'll be a lot of fun.
Brian J. Glick, who looks like Jeff Olbrich, says, live from the Moscone Center West, the Jake Asman Show. And Brian J. Glick lives in the Bay Area, so he knows exactly where we are. I thought it was the Moscone Center, but it's Moscone.
It's Moscone. Ah, a little Italian.
A little bibbidi boppidi boopy.
Oh, I like it, man. I mean, That's the thing. Have you been to San Francisco before?
This is first time.
Me
Last
too.
night walking around, the hills are for real, man.
Dude,
oh my
this
God.
is beautiful. The only time I've been here, I just flew out of here really quick. But people said that this is the closest city to Manhattan in terms of just the feel, and I can see it a little bit. It's nice, man. You got the hills. You got a really nice city. It's beautiful here, man. I'm really enjoying my time.
Jet Charles says, "Good afternoon, as maniacs. Is Aaron Glenn fired yet?" He is not. Fast forward a year from now, we might have a new head coach.
And you know what's different about the Super Bowl this year is the Pro Bowl games are here. So yesterday we were out to dinner, and all of a sudden we're like, "Oh, look, there's Kyle Hamilton eating next to us." You know, it's just like Kyle Hamilton's right there, and then we walk by Zach Bond, linebacker from the Eagles. So there's a lot of Pro Bowlers here as well. What a joke the Pro Bowl is, though.
You gonna go? Do you apply?
I don't think we
I have
have
no interest.
There's no reason to go. There's no. I don't even. Nah, we're good.
If anyone has San Francisco recommendations, by the way, please let us know. This is our first time here, and I know there's some as maniacs who live out here or have been here, so keep that in mind. I do want to shout out our hotel sponsor this week. I'm staying at Hotel Emblem. They are phenomenal. It has been an awesome stay so far. I walked in, and they gave me all this free stuff when I walked in. Super Bowl stuff, popcorn, water bottles, everything you need. The hotel room is clean, king-size bed. Hotel Emblem taking great care of me this week, so I want to shout them out for making it possible. It's located where Nob Hill meets Union Square in the Theater District, so if you're booking a trip to San Fran, I highly, highly recommend you stay at Hotel Emblem. I mean, they have a cafe in the hotel. They have a beautiful-looking bar/restaurant as well, so big thank you to Hotel Emblem for making it possible for us to be staying in San Fran this week, bringing you guys live Radio Row content. Again, Richie from Jets Media is our guest. Comments, questions, super chats, they cut the line. Here's another Jet topic I want your thoughts on. First time I've had you on since the Duke, Brian Dooker, was hired as the defensive coordinator. What was your reaction to that?
Did not see that one coming. They interviewed 8 guys, and we're like, all right, which one of these 8 is it going to be? And then like, oh, well, the Wink Martindale in-person interview, it's going to be Wink. Nope. Aaron Glenn decided, I actually want to call plays. So we went out there, interviewed Brian Dooker, and he hires him the day after. So the reality is Aaron Glenn wants to be hands-on with his defense. He wants to take on the play-calling duties, and he wanted somebody that he has some type of alignment with, that it's an upcoming guy. Brian Dooker, the one thing I do like about him is his ability in Detroit. He's responsible for being part of the development of guys like Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch. I think the Jets are going to draft the safety. There was a safety at the Senior Bowl I really want the Jets to draft. That's Bud Clark from TCU, by the way. He would fit what the Jets are trying to do.
He balled out last week.
He was unbelievable, man. Every single play he made, he was talking trash. I talked to him after one of the Senior Bowl practices. But that's what the Jets are bringing in. I even asked TD, because TD, of course, is the Miami Dolphins guy, and I asked his question, what are your thoughts of Brian Dooker coming from Miami? He's a D-backs coach, and he said the only good thing about the Miami Dolphins defense last year was their secondary. It was that their back end, the safeties and the corners, they just couldn't stop the run as a defense, but their back end and the secondary was actually the only positive of that unit, which made me think, okay, maybe Brian Dooker, that's what he's known for in Miami, pass game coordinator. So he's not going to be calling plays, but he's going to be there trying to coach up the guys, and you never know. This is now Aaron Glenn's defense, and he's getting his fingerprints all over it, and he's going to go down swinging, or he's going to try to build his team his way and be successful. So only time will tell.
I just love people, by the way, joining the show for the first time, and then they see you're on. Sir Richard Stickers. I mean, this really has become your identity in the Asmaniac community. You're the sticker guy.
I am the sticker guy because of the Asmaniacs and false reports about me.
Jay Quest, man, guy just making things up and just trying to slander you.
Hey, man, everybody has an opinion on you, and I got this far without worrying about those people.
Yeah, Jay Quest, take that one. Horton says, got to go to Oso Steakhouse in San Fran. Okay.
All right.
We will add that to the list. Thank you very much, Horton, for that. Super Chat's cut the line. No one has gifted a membership yet.
We went last night, Jake.
Where'd you go?
Try it out. It's called The View. It's like right actually out here. I think it's at a hotel. You go all the way to the top. It was ridiculous. It was like you're on top in the view of the entire San Francisco. It's like a bar setting. It was one of the nicest spots we were able to see. We caught the sunset. That's where the roundtable crew was last night. It was a lot of fun.
Hell yeah. Let me do this, by the way. No one has gifted yet. We're out in San Fran. I'm going to gift the 5 spot to kick off our Radio Row coverage. If you get a membership from me and Richie right now, you are in the Asmaniac weekly raffle for your chance to win one of our 5 signed items, including the signed Joe Namath helmet and the Super Bowl III ticket display.
We got JB. Congratulations. Area 1202. CHS Realtor. BP York and Quick Dolo just got gifted free Jake Asman memberships. Hit that again.
Hit it. I said hit it. Button, work, press.
Come on, button.
Damn it.
You know they actually added buttons on StreamYard, virtual buttons.
Did they really?
Yeah.
You're going to have to show me that.
Yeah, I got you. It's like basically that.
Hit it. Oh, man. Appreciate everyone who is doing their thing in the chat, supporting us. You guys are the best. If you got a membership, I'll put you in the raffle. I wanted to give 5 as a thank you to the community for making it all possible. You know, with Glenn calling the defense now, all signs point to that. He can't be worse than Wilkes, but do you think it will make a noticeable difference? Do you think the defense will be improved? Your thoughts on him taking over as play caller?
So what I mentioned about Saul in year 1 and seeing his defense improve the year 2, a big reason for that, which is the reason why I bring this up, it's going to happen again this year. There was a huge shift personnel-wise. In year 1, Salah did not have a lot of talent. Year 2, they got Sauce, they got Jermaine, they got DJ Reed. So this is a big offseason personnel-wise, Jake, in order to fill out this defense with talent, because it starts with that. And then, of course, the coaching staff, led by Aaron Glenn, is going to be able to get it. If they're going to get a guy at number 2, like an Arvell Reese or a Ruben Bain or a David Bailey, a prime piece of that defense, and maybe even another defensive player at 16 or at the top of the second round, that is very, very important. I do expect his defense to be improved with Aaron Glenn calling the plays. That's why he became the Jets head coach. He's a super successful defensive coordinator with the Lions. And what he was known for in Detroit was so many people went down injuries. He was able to coach up guys off the practice squad, let them come in there, next man up mentality, and still play championship caliber football over there in Detroit. And I think that Alex Anzalone, he's destined to be a Jet. I really do believe that. Tony Pauline, he reported that the Jets are expected to sign him in free agency, and that is a culture piece. That's a guy that Aaron Glenn's going to want to come and be an extension of the coaching staff to really instill. Because the biggest problem the Jets had as a defense last year, Jake, it was communication. They had so many miscommunications on that field, and if you are not on the same page as the defense, you are absolutely going to get picked apart. If one guy thinks it's this coverage, the other guy thinks it's that. One thinks it's cover high. One guy thinks it's like man. You know, it's just an absolute disaster. So they have to be on the same page, and I think that's going to be what it's all about. Steve Wilkes absolutely was atrocious.
He was terrible. Glenn should be an upgrade. He was okay in Detroit. The last year was impressive. The other years, not so much. Again, I like the fact that he's calling the defense because I don't think there's any difference between him and Wink Martindale. And I think the only reason why the Jets reporters wanted Wink Martindale to get the job so bad is so they could have an inside source in the building, because Wink is a serial leaker. I'll leave it at that. So I'm glad it's not him. I like that Glenn is going to take some responsibility for the defense. Like, it's all on you, man. Like, you're getting paid $12 million a year. You're seeing all these coaches around the league stay with their side of the ball and be an expert on that side of the ball.
Salah's doing it now. He didn't do that with the Jets.
Right. And like Mike McDonald is calling the defense for the Seahawks on Sunday. Vrabel is not directly calling the D, but he is intimately involved in their defense. If you talk to anyone, which I already did, associated with the Patriots this week. So, like, that's where it's going. So I don't mind Glenn calling the defense. Go down on your sword, man.
Absolutely. And I really do think that this defense should be well improved. And all they need is one interception to show that. That's how sad it was last year, man. Give me an interception, man. Are you kidding me? Oh, man. I'm excited, though, to see what the Jets do from a defensive standpoint in the offseason of the guys are going to bring in free agency with the upgraded cap space that the NFL just announced and all the guys in the Senior Bowl. I would love the Jets to target. There's so many guys I feel like the Jets can target in the mid-rounds.
Let us hope that they get it right. That is for sure. Dan, the Jet fan, with a super chat. Thank you, Dan. Jake and Richie, question for both of you. Who are you looking forward to speaking with the most this week, and why? Well, for me, it's Darnold.
Yeah, easy.
I'm going to try and see if we could get a question to him about something like oddly specific with the Jets. That'd be funny just for like the Jet fans.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
I already have a question in mind that I'm excited to ask him. So it's
what is it? What do you got?
It's of course Jets related. It's just I wanted to ask him something along the lines of, Sam, you got drafted by the New York Jets. How did that experience translate to where you are today? Like, what you have any message to the Jets fans that are still rooting for you or something along those lines? And I'm just curious what he would have to say, because I know he's not going to say anything negative to the Jets. I mean, maybe he will. You never know. You
could just ask him, be like, have you watched the movie Ghostbusters this week to prepare for your battle against New England on Sunday?
Yeah. How does it feel to revenge your ghost story, man? It's just, dude, Sam Darnold, Jake, like, I don't know if you know the origin of Jets media. You know, it started off as a Sam Darnold page.
You were like a Sam Darnold stan.
I was the truther of Sam Darnold. I was the original guy. Like, my Instagram account was Sam Darnold Media. My X account was a Sam Darnold account. And then I realized, okay, I want this to be a Jets brand. And then I rebranded to Jets Media. And then Sam eventually gets traded a few years later. So, like, I go way back with Sam. I prematurely crowned him as the face of the franchise as soon as he got drafted. And I learned from that. When we drafted Zach Wilson, I was like, I hate this guy because it's supposed to be Sam. And he ended up being a bust.
It was supposed to be Darnold. Instead, he had to go to 4 different teams to finally.
Yeah, but another big cat, Leonard Williams, I'm excited to talk to. And, you know, and not even just former Jets. I'm definitely curious to see some other guys ask them the question. You know, last year was my first time covering the Super Bowl, and I was able to interview a lot of guys on the Chiefs, a lot of guys on the Eagles. I had a lot of fun sit-down interviews with those guys. So I'm excited to talk to the lesser.
What are Adam Gase's eyes up close? You can ask that to Leonard Williams, and you can ask that to Sam Darnold.
What was Adam Gase's eyes? Oh, my God. Wait. Leonard Williams was on the Jets with Adam Gase?
And then they traded him to the Giants.
So that was that year?
In 2019, I think. Or it might have been 2020. But he definitely played for Gase in some capacity.
Leonard Williams, man. What an absolute stud he has become. And the longevity of career. Quinnen is going to be the next one that we're going to miss dearly.
This one is from Tom Ace. Richie built his empire on hard work and stickers. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, man. It's all about the stickers. You know what I mean? That's really what it comes down to. Hard work, determination, and listen to the noise because it inspires you to keep going.
Where is TD Finstock? I want to troll him about Jeff Hafley.
Yeah, TD is up in the media room upstairs.
Doing what?
Eating some
sandwiches?
Doing some content up there.
Justin, was there food in the media room? What type of food?
Sandwiches.
Just sandwiches. We'll have to check.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing, but you definitely could troll him. I'm sure that he'd enjoy that troll job because he has an interesting approach to Jeff Hafley. I'll leave it at that.
I was talking with him earlier, and it was busting his balls on him. I'm like, both our teams stink. You have no right to talk trash about the Jets ever. You're just as bad.
Oh man, love it.
Like, what's the more embarrassing thing? The fact that the Jets have the longest playoff drought in sports, or the fact that the Dolphins haven't won a playoff game since Bill Clinton was in office?
I mean, give me the Jets drought over the Dolphins drought. At least when the Jets make the playoffs, they make noise in the playoffs.
Right.
The last 2 times the Jets were in the postseason, they made it to the championship. Would you rather the Jets just go and lose in round 1, or they say the next time we go, we're going to go all the way, baby? Come on.
That's right. That is right. Comments, questions, super chats. Cut the line if you guys have a question for Richie or a Jet topic you want us to hit on here. Now is certainly the time. We'll take some calls as well. That's right. We have the capability to take calls, which I have pinned the Gusbuster Umbrella hotline link to the live chat. Are you ready for the first call from Radio Row? There's only one man that I think is up for the job. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time.
Let's go, Jets! Let's go, Jets! Let's go, Jets! Let's go, Jets!
Beast, are you there? Beast? Oh, he's sleeping. Oh, my goodness. He's sleeping. You hear that snoring? Beast, wake up. You hear that snoring? Look at him. I'm going to go full screen on him. He's on his bed there. He's sleeping. All right, everyone, cover your ears. If you're at work, lower the volume. I'm going to blast the alarms. We got to wake this guy up. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. Wake up, Beast. Wake up.
Run the Cowboys! Run the Cowboys! Run the Cowboys! 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 Run them, Cowboys! Oh, that noise! Jeez Louise!
Wake up, Beast. Hit the Mad Max music.
Okay.
How are you, Sleeping Beauty?
That felt good. I was just up by my Menards this morning. Scored a couple shots, and I got a nice 22 pounds of ham. 12 bucks. 12 bucks for 22 pounds. I said, hey, you bring it over here. Bring it over here. I even picked up some steak. I even said, you know what? I'm good. I'm good here. I even got chicken tenders. The lady got the chicken tenders right here. I'm like, chicken tenders, I'll take 6 of those, and then 1 4-pack of fried chicken. Because you know what we're going to also do today? Sometime during this week, we're going to open the grill, and we're going to cook real good chicken. Oh, yeah. We're gonna turn up some dials, and we're going to bring some surprises. So hang on tight. Super Bowl Sunday. If you guys are ready, get your grills ready. And are you ready?
Hey, Beast, calm down for a second. I have some questions for you. People are dying to know what your go-to football Super Bowl special meal will be this Sunday.
I'm not gonna be cooking. I'm gonna be what? Well, I'm not gonna. Well, I know I'm gonna be there watching for Sam Darnold because nobody gives a hunk of shit about those shitriots because they're gonna choke chicken.
Hey, Tom Hayes says, why buy the ham when you can get the entire pig?
The ham was on sale it was 57 cents a pound, so I only asked for 22 pounds. That's good enough for me. Hey, what you see is what you get.
Gator wrote in. Richie's like, WTF is this? Have you ever seen a man quite like the Beast, Richie?
One of a kind, man. Huge fan, though. Absolutely massive fan.
They don't make men like they used to. All you got to do is learn the basics. Learn how to budget. Learn how to cut corners. Find different ways. And then if you don't know what you're doing, they'll say, take your money and get off the table. That's not hard.
Wow.
You don't know what you're doing?
Well said, Beast.
Take your money, get off the table. Not hard, folks. It's like playing poker
right now.
Thank you very much, Beast. Was that the first time you've taken a Beast call?
Yeah, first time I was lucky enough to be on the same call as Beast. Wow. What a man that was.
I love it. I mean, you're not a true Asmaniac unless you've experienced Beast in some capacity. So now I could say that you've done it.
Woo!
You lived through it.
That was electrifying, if I had to say.
Unbelievable. Look what we got right here. We got Dan Mitchell here. Can we get Dan to sit down with us here? Let's try and do our third let's let's give him the handheld mic. That's probably the easiest way to do it. Put Dan in between us right here.
Here, Dan, sit here.
We got Dan Mitchell, Mr. Bill, with us.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen?
Hello, Dan.
Thank you.
Put you right
Thank
here.
you, Richie. I appreciate you scooting over.
Yeah, of course, brother.
It's my favorite jet show on the internet.
How we feeling, man?
Oh, man, you know what? I reflect back and forth, and I knew that my Buffalo Bills were so damn close of being here. I believe Brandon Cooks caught that damn football. Richie's been trolling me.
I thought that
for
was
weeks.
the most obvious interception I maybe have ever seen.
Was the most obvious interception. Here's my take, right? I'm not going to dwell on the past. Once again, they ripped my heart out from my chest. He survived the ground. He just didn't survive the DB ripping it out of his hands the second he hit the ground. But you know what? It doesn't matter. It's the Joe Brady era right now. And more than likely we'll get sent home by the
Jake,
Chiefs in the divisional next year.
I need you to do me a favor. I think you need to introduce Dan Mitchell to your audience because I'm sure there's some Asmaniacs that are like, who the heck is this guy?
So
why don't you give him a Dan Mitchell introduction?
I call him Mr. Bill. This is the guy that is what Richie does for the Jets for Roundtable. This is the Bills guy. So Dan's got his channel covering the Bills. You said something to me very funny in Mobile last week. You're like, so your fan base hates you too, right? So
yes.
So you're pretty critical of the Bills, I take it then. You're not afraid to criticize the great Josh Allen for having 4 turnovers in a playoff elimination game.
Yeah, for sure. For some reason when it comes into Bills fans, and I'd say most fan bases, QB1 is always the least possible to criticize at all. Everyone's trying to figure out if it's the GM, it's the head coach, it's this curse, why like the stadium's built on an Indian burial ground or something along those lines. But yes, I can tell you that my fan base was very upset with me for really just stating the obvious. The reason the Buffalo Bills had those awful losses this year was due to one person and one person only. It was Josh Allen pissing down his leg. That's what it was.
I mean, when you look at what happened, right? The owner comes out and says that one game, he looked around, saw the tears on Josh Allen and company, and that's why he fired McDermott.
Yeah.
He threw the coaching staff under the bus for the Keon Coleman pick.
Yeah.
But they promoted from within with Joe Brady. So explain what is happening with the Bills. I actually think Brady could be a pretty good coach.
Yeah.
But how did we get to Joe Brady and after firing Sean McDermott?
So my eyes, and from what I understand about this Bills organization, is that Sean McDermott had quite a bit of say of roster construction. Like most people look at a GM and they think that you're a dictator and you make all of the roster decisions. But you ultimately end up looking at how these drafts have been going for Buffalo for the past couple of years. It's been heavily focused on the defensive side of the football, but the same problems continued to rear their ugly heads. Complete fall downs in the playoffs where the defense was letting up average of 33 points in every single loss. So why I think Buffalo went this direction was Josh is turning 30 years old this offseason. And what they wanted to do was at least instill some sort of familiarity because, like it or not, like this Buffalo Bills team has been putting up an average of 28 to 30 points per season. The problem with this team has always been the defense. So I think just so that Josh didn't need to learn an entire new scheme, recreate the wheel, he wanted to at least establish a bit of continuity for him. And surprisingly enough, I'm okay with this Brady hire.
I do think he has a chance to be a good coach. It's just hilarious how we needed to fire McDermott. We blame the coaches. And it's like you're promoting the offensive coordinator who apparently had a big say in advocating for the player that the owner just threw completely under the bus in Coleman at the presser.
Yeah, man. It's funny.
The difference is you guys have Josh Allen. We had Brady Cook, Tyrod Taylor, and the immortal Justin Fields.
Yeah, it's funny how they took it from that direction. How I think this front office looked at it was that they identified the defensive coaching side of things was the issue. I think that they tried to at least absolve Joe Brady of some of the problems. Again, offense has never been a problem with Buffalo. So really at the end of the day, did you want to roll the dice on a Clint Kubiak who's never been a head coach before? Or did you want to roll the dice on a Grant Udinsky who has never called plays before? So I felt like it was the safest option. It's funny with the Keon Coleman thing. I wonder why this Bills fan base was so upset because they've been saying the exact same thing about him ever since week 3 of this year. But it's definitely interesting to see where Buffalo goes this offseason.
How sick does it make you that the Patriots are in the Super Bowl?
Awful.
Year 1 with Raffle, year 2 of Drake May.
It's awful.
I think the Bills fan, I'm not trying to rub it in because it disgusts me as a Jet fan,
Good.
But I feel like the Bills fan has to be maybe just as disgusted, if not even more, because you guys have been knocking on the door forever. There's no Mahomes this year.
Yeah.
There's no Burrow. There's no Lamar. And it's Drake May and the Patriots in the first year with Vrabel going to the Super Bowl.
It's frustrating, man, because so many different things went wrong for us where if one of those gaffes or one of those hiccups were not to occur, we could have been the 2nd seed. We could have been in this position. And I regret going into this offseason. I said, for the love of God, I'm waiting on the downfall of the Kansas City Chiefs. I sit here today on the Jake Asman show, and I got to tell you, I wish the Chiefs were here. I can tell you that. I wish the Chiefs were here again.
You excited to root for Sam Darnold on Sunday?
I am. How are you feeling about that?
We love Sam. So they while he was certainly not great with the Jets, they set him up to fail when his 2 head coaches, Todd Bowles and Adam Gase. He had no offensive line. The weapons were a joke. Again, it's a reminder to the Jets, you could actually draft the right quarterback, and if you don't put the guy in position to succeed, it's not going to matter. So we love Sam. He took the high road anytime he's ever been asked about the Jets when it would be so easy for him to blame the organization and talk about how they set him up to fail, which they did. And he's never done that. So every Jet fan, I think, is united, even before we knew he'd be playing New England, united and rooting for him.
Yeah, man. Last year I was skeptical when I saw what he was doing over in Minnesota. Richie was trying to tell me, it's like, Dan, this is the Sam Darnold I knew. But I saw Kevin O'Connell, the offensive genius over in Minnesota. Then I see him go over to Seattle.
By the way, get ready.
A future, that or Sean McDermott, I have a feeling next year. That or Sean McDermott. But then he ends up hopping over to Seattle. And granted, he does also have a pretty coveted offensive mind over there in Clint Kubiak, who just earned himself a head coaching position. But, I mean, at this point, I think it's pretty clear to say that he is that guy. And I really hope that he destroys that defense on Sunday. That much I can tell you.
We're hoping too. I know Richie's going to be locked in. I mean, he started off as a Sam Darnold truther account, and now look at
he was telling me. Yeah, he was telling me, man. He made the adjustment right over to the Jets. But it's wild too, because you know what? Like with Jets fans, Bills fans watching this, it sucks that the Patriots have made it to the Super Bowl. But I promise you, all wounds will be healed if Drake May goes out there and lays an absolute egg.
Oh, that'd be amazing. Wouldn't that be
it
great?
Really would.
And he has not played well in these playoffs for what it's worth.
No, he hasn't. And now he's going up against the best defense that this league has to offer. We'll see.
I really hope that they get absolutely destroyed. But what if the Patriots win? How would that make you feel? as a Bills fan. I mean, it makes us feel sick as Jets fans. From a Bills fan perspective, you had 5 years of winning the division.
Yeah.
This was your opportunity to get through the AFC, win a Super Bowl, and all of a sudden you look up, the Patriots win the division and they could win the Super Bowl. What would go through your mind the moment that happened, if it does?
And so I feel like I'm more angry at my own organization. And so to be completely honest with you, like rather than pulling the trigger and getting rid of Sean McDermott after the Cincinnati Bengals implosion, who knows where we would have been. Say the Patriots like raise up a 7th Lombardi trophy. I suppose I'll get over it. It's going to be tough, but it's
makes me nauseous to think about, Jake.
It's sickening,
Kills
man.
me.
It is. It's just they don't deserve it. I mean, it's just they don't deserve to be this lucky.
No.
And like the path they had too. Again, they're a good team. Give them credit. They've had to win these games. Their schedule was historically easy. Like if you go back and look at like strength of schedule, just look at the top 10 of the NFL draft. That's who they basically played this year. They got the Jets twice. They got the Dolphins twice. They actually lost to one of their.
Fun fact, as far as quarterback production rate in the playoffs, and so I compared to that Trent Dilfer year over in Baltimore.
Yep.
And Drake May's numbers are actually worse than Trent Dilfer's numbers.
It's a joke. And
it's wild.
And
it's wild.
Here they are now in the Super Bowl, and it's just like it makes you sick. It really does. Makes you sick. We never get an easy path. We never get a break as Jet fans, but now we got to watch Drake May, Mike Vrabel on Sunday, and hope that Sam Darnold is our last line of defense that can get it done.
Why don't you ask Dan Mitchell his thoughts of the New York Jets organization?
Yeah, what, how do you feel about the Jets? like Bills fans just look at the Jets and just be like, what a joke. Like, how do you guys view Aaron Glenn and everything that like the Jet fan experienced in year one? What's the feeling?
So I feel like that shtick that he has where like he's just disrespecting the media over and over again was cool at first. But then like once I saw the product that he put out on the field, I kind of think that he needs to taper back a tad and start being a bit more open with media and like answering some of the tougher questions. I want to see what he does now that he's retaining these play calling like responsibilities. He's going to be in charge of the defense, and he's sort of operating off of I'm bringing in an offensive coordinator that's going to be calling plays, the head coach of the offense. I wonder if that works. But as far as my theory, I teased it earlier. I do think that either Sean McDermott or somebody else will be taking his place next offseason.
Give us the feel on McDermott. Obviously, you guys were upset that he was fired in the manner he was fired.
Yeah.
But he's now sitting out for a year. Him and Tomlin could arguably be the top two known candidates a year from now. Is Sean McDermott, in your opinion, after watching him up close for all these years, how would you assess him as a head coach?
So I'll tell you what, he will automatically raise your floor. So when Richie would hear me complain about how the Buffalo Bills would regularly make it to the playoffs, but always get bounced in the divisional or the championship round, he said, Dan, I hate you because you're spoiled. I would love that from a head coach. I would love that from my organization, just to be at least in the conversation each and every single year. Give me January football. Sean McDermott would do that, man. He's a culture builder. You wouldn't have a lot of that like drama within the locker room. You wouldn't be bringing in players that have any issues. Culture is a number one part of how this guy ends up building a team. He's a very smart guy, but situationally in the playoffs, while I think he has improved, you can't knock his resume, and you can't ignore some of the playoff losses he has experienced. But to say that Sean were to come in, I can guarantee you that he would raise your floor to a consistent playoff team.
That's what we need. And what I like about him, he's hired two different coordinators that have had success. He helped develop and oversee Josh Allen's improvement. Like that's kind of what the Jets need. But what concerns me is, again, we'd be hiring another defensive coach. At least this one would be with premium experience. I think the Jets are in a spot where, especially this year, if they don't, take like the crazy swing on Ty Simpson, which I don't believe ultimately they would. They got 3 wins in 2027. There's a path there like the Raiders. They have the top pick where they're in the top 5. It's a way better quarterback class. You almost want that offensive coach to pair up with that quarterback. So that's
Is you a Ty Simpson guy?
I'm not a Ty Simpson guy.
You're not?
I don't. He started 15 career games, and he was good at the beginning of the year, and then it trended downward after that. I understand not all his fault. I just think it'd be a huge risk for the Jets to take that type of swing. But again, they got 3 wins a year from now. Probably a new head coach. I'd rather wait till then and pair those guys up together.
So free agency, what are you thinking? Because I was actually having a conversation with Colby a bit earlier about what the Jets should do with free agency. As far as the draft, it's awful. I mean, you were in Mobile. You saw what these guys are putting out on the field. I don't really like any quarterback coming out of the draft, and that's even including Fernando Mendoza. Indeed, surprisingly enough. But as far as potential free agents.
Why don't you like Mendoza, by the way?
So I got to tell you what, shout out to my good buddy Brandon. He's a Seahawks YouTuber. He was just running circles around me with his ball knowledge, like dropping X and O's left and right. I was like, my God, I'm a believer now. he told me he believes that Fernando Mendoza was never asked to operate a lot under center. And as you end up looking at how the NFL has been evolving, you're seeing a lot of that. You're seeing a lot of 12 to 13 personnel fronts. So now you need to have Clint Kubiak turn him into an under center type quarterback, perfect his footwork in the 5 to 7 dropbacks, and completely just go ahead and change up his game. He's not going to be operating out of the shotgun 100% of the time anymore, and that's going to be an adjustment. If he ends up on the Jets, I think that that's a better place for him to develop. But say that he does end up going to the Raiders, that's going to be a move that could ultimately get Clint Kubiak fired within 2 years.
Yeah, to me, 6'5", clutch when it mattered.
Yep.
Deadly accurate, work ethic off the charts. Between the ears, he's got like that. He's got enough tism that I love in my quarterback to have.
The tism, baby.
That's what we need. I think the guy's too talented and too big of a worker to not figure it out and at least be like a Jared Goff type of quarterback in the league.
Yeah. It's going to be a while, but
it won't matter for the Jets. They're not going to be able to get him. The Raiders will take him one. Kubiak's not taking that job unless he knows he's going to be able to lock him in.
It's next year is much better, right? Like worst case scenario, y'all hit free agency or like y'all make a trade for the Kyler Murrays of the world. It's not sexy, but like one thing I can tell you, Kyler behind that offensive line, like you're not going to get anything in between the numbers, like right in the middle of the field. But I do think he's a extreme upgrade from Tyrod Taylor and Justin Fields. Especially with Garrett Wilson coming back, with A.D. Mitchell actually looked solid toward the back half of the season. Maybe Kirko Chains, and so I'm not sure if you'd be interested in him with a nice little bridge situation.
I
but
could see him in like a Garrett Nussmeier behind him as their plan for a year.
Yeah, Nuss would be interesting. But it's next year that like you really need to pay attention. It's Arch Manning's likely going to be coming out. He looked a hell of a lot better toward the back half of the season.
Oh, yeah.
You have Lenore Sellers out of South Carolina, Dante Moore, who's is going to have no choice but to come to the NFL draft next year.
Saying,
you have Julian Saying, CJ Carr, much better quarterback.
I did hear that all. I heard the same thing last year.
We say, but that's the caveat. Exactly. We say that every year.
Let's wait one more.
His dad said it too. Well, you thought Arch was going to be this year, and
I thought that. Arch. I thought Lenore Sellers was going to be in here.
It was a consensus thing that the 2026 class is the year for the quarterback, and here we are. Jets have the second overall pick, and there's no quarterback to draft.
And so in my defense, I feel like a lot of them pulled out at the last second.
They went back to school. Darian Mensah went back to school. Jaden Mayava went back to school. These guys will be in there next year. And no one knew who Fernando Mendoza was going into this year. Guys emerged. So the Jets are positioned with 3 first-round picks and really 4 chances to get the top pick. They own the Colts pick, and they get the better of either Dallas or Green Bay next year. So if there's, God forbid, a season-ending injury to a Dak or a Jordan Love, all of a sudden that pick could be a lot higher. That's how the Jets got Garrett Wilson. They had Seattle's pick in the Jamal Adams deal. Seattle was a Super Bowl contender when they made that deal. Well, Russ got hurt that year. All of a sudden, they finished number 10. That's how the Jets got Garrett with that number 10 selection.
So mid-season last year, y'all had a bit of a fire sale-ish, at least with your top, like tier talent. You had Sauce Gardner was sent over to the Colts.
Yep. Quinnen.
Same thing with Quinnen right over to the Cowboys. Is that done in y'all's eyes? Or will there be a couple of other big names that you think Glenn or that front office is going to want to shift away so you can start building that DNA
that's
core?
The start of what we're about to see this offseason. I think it's going to be an overhaul. And you even said it when Aaron Glenn originally got hired, that there's going to be a clean house scenario. That's what Sean McDermott did when he came
happens
to the
every
Bills.
year.
A coach comes in, they evaluate the roster. They want to keep guys that fits their system and get rid of a lot. Trading away Sauce really showed me a lot about this regime because I was blindsided by that. I really did not see that coming. And they get the draft compensation that got returned plus a wide receiver with upside.
That's why they did it, though. I don't think their intention was to sign Sauce to trade him.
Colts were really interested.
They got 2 1s and A.D. Mitchell.
It's hard to say no to that.
And Sauce,
and it sounds like you won that trade, at least for now.
100%. Sauce is a very good corner. He is not in the same level at this point. I think it's fair to say is like Stingley or the same level as Surtain.
No.
Like those guys intercept the ball. They make more plays. Sauce is very good if you ask him to do a specific thing in like a zone scheme.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Jets getting what they got for him, I think that was the right move. Even getting a 1 and a 2 for Quinnen was a right move. It was never about that. It was the fact that they started 0-7 and had to make these trades in the first place is why every Jet fan, maybe not him, he's more optimistic than me, has like some major red flags with the head coach because when they were, quote, trying to win, they were 0-7 and Glenn looked inept, incompetent in a lot of these games.
Yeah. Aaron Glenn, man. So what do you see in him? It's pretty clear, I'm looking at 2 sides of the coin right here, hate Aaron Glenn, love Aaron Glenn. What do you...
I wouldn't say I love...
So why are you optimistic about him? That's the question.
I wouldn't say I love Aaron Glenn. I just want to see it play itself out because the reality is the reality that they're not firing him. So I just want to see it from his lens, and I'm trying my best to be like, okay, what is Aaron Glenn trying to do? He looked at this past year. He's firing all of his coaches that he brought in. He's holding himself accountable and not being complacent and like bringing the same staff back that failed. So as a Jets fan, I understand that Aaron Glenn is absolutely trash in year number 1. I think that the first 7 games, starting 0-7, they were super competitive in those games, but they could not win. They finally got the first win. They won 3 of 5 games, and then everything fell off, and they completely looked like a joke for the end of the season. No interceptions all season long. There's no, like, if you're a Jets fan, every single Jets fan will tell you there's no reason to look at Aaron Glenn after year 1 and really believe he's going to be the guy. I'm the guy that says I'm willing to give him a chance and just, it is hope. And I'm not sitting here breaking down X's and O's and breaking down Aaron Glenn as a culture guy, and I'm like selling this reality that Aaron Glenn is going to figure it out. It's just more from my perspective. I want to see, because in my opinion, 1 year is not a fair shot. No, and I want to see Aaron Glenn at least get a fair shot to be this head coach, because he wanted it. He wanted to take on this challenge. And he said in his open press conference, this is the New York Jets. There's going to be some challenges, and with challenges comes opportunity. Well, the challenge was year number 1. Now, what are you going to do with that opportunity year number 2? Are you going to learn from it? Are you going to improve as a head coach? Or are you going to go backwards? And that's when he's going to get fired. So I feel like I want to give him an opportunity to learn from those million mistakes he made. And if he cannot learn from it, he's not built for the job. He's going to get fired in year number 2, and the Jets will be looking for a new coach next year. That's really that simple. So flipping the script, Jake, what would Glenn need to do in 2026 for you to be like, all right, yeah, I'm working with it? And so is it a record? Is it, off-season moves? I like, by the way, how you're able to come on the show and then flip it and start hosting the show. By the way, my chat wants to know, when are you going to jump through a table? When does that happen, Mr. Bill?
Thursday. All
right,
we'll just set up a table. You're just going to jump through it, all right?
Yeah, most definitely. We'll find the one media outlet I have the most beef with, and I'll steal their table, and we'll do it there.
Look, to answer your question, he's got to win games, man. They got to win. They got to win at least 8 games next year. They haven't won more than 7 in a decade. There has to be player development. Not one player on the Jets got better as the year goes on, and he talked about how it's going to be all about coaching, and we're going to take day 3 guys in the draft and make them play like day 2 guys. First round guys are going to play like Pro Bowl guys. There's just so many quotes of things he was going to implement. None of it happened. His coaching staff hires. He lauded his ability to hire a great staff. That was part of the reason the Jets hired him, they said. His staff sucked. Wilkes, he couldn't even make it through the year. Do you see what's going on with the Jet OC search right now? Firing Engstrand and Wilkes after a year? Only Hugh Jackson fired both coordinators after year 1. There's just no evidence the guy could coach. I think he's a good assistant coach. He's not a head coach. So what's going to win me over and this fan base over? Win games, prove us wrong. We're not rooting against them. We're Jet fans who are sick of hiring first-time defensive-minded head coaches again and again and again. That's not where the NFL's going. So now he's calling the plays. Great. Let's see you fix the defense. Let's see if Frank Reich could coach up Kirk Cousins and maybe Garrett Nussmeier or whatever their quarterback plan is. Show real progress, and you might get that 3rd year. If you don't deserve a 3rd year. It doesn't take multiple years to turn it around in the NFL. The living proof is Seattle's head coach is in year 2 with Sam Darnold. Mike Vrabel's in year 1 with a 2nd-year quarterback. It doesn't take forever to be competent. And the Jets have not won more than 7 games in 10 years, in addition to having the longest playoff drought in professional sports. It's an embarrassment.
Fair.
And they went 3-14 in year 1. And then, again, there were 10 openings around the league. Next year, maybe there's only 5, and the Jets are one of them by accident. You got 3 1s. You're one of the more attractive openings in the league with Garrett Wilson, a really good offensive line, $100 million again next year in cap space. They have 4 picks in the top 44 this year. Build the team, and if Glenn's not the guy, at least a year from now, and it sucks this is the spin, but that's all we have right now, is that you're one of the more attractive jobs a year from now, and you can build your team with a real head coach. Fair. Maybe get Arch Manning as your quarterback. We're marching for Arch. You want a shirt?
Hey, man, you march for Arch.
We have March for Arch merch. We're marching for Arch. Well, dude, I love it. How do you feel if Arch Manning comes to the AFC East and surpasses Josh Allen, Drake May?
Oh, man, I'd stop watching football. Woo! Probably. Yeah. And so I do like a movie review YouTube channel or something like that, you know? That's a switch up.
One day, man.
Switch up where I'm going with this.
One day.
Yeah.
Get ready.
And I'm also not like on the I'm not on this like Aaron Glenn gospel where I think anybody criticizing him or saying those things are wrong. Like, I think every single opinion Jake says is completely justified. I think every single Jets fan of what their critical nature, because I'm critical for Aaron Glenn as well, it's all justified. And that's the beautiful thing about Jets Nation is we can all come together. We all want the same thing at the end of the day, and we can all, put together our differences, come together and root for the greater good, which is wins, baby.
That's all we want. Now, Dan Mitchell, let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
The Roundtable Sports crew,
Yes.
which one gets
Okay.
the absolute craziest when they go out? Is it you? Is it Richie? Is it the Pats guy? What's his Kobe, right? Is it TD? TD's a family man, so I wouldn't guess him. But which one of you guys
Well-
is the most outrageous when you're out and about?
Don't sleep on TD, man. 6 kids is a crazy thing.
So this is
right?
like
So
a
like when
stress
you
reliever
have the
for
freedom, my guy goes absolutely nuts. I actually didn't drink for an entire year, and so I wanted to do that, like as far as just focusing on work or whatnot. But last night, my guy had me relapse last night. Justin, right behind us. I'm just kidding. It was time. Had a couple of beers. We had a good time, but I'm feeling it. But I'd probably say TD.
Yeah, I would say TD.
It's not Richie. It's not Richie, man.
No.
He's hammered after a glass of wine.
Well, I'm more.
Richie, you know why? You know we call him Richie Stickers in my community.
No.
He
No.
you know, look, he was at a training camp practice. He gave a sticker to a listener. Apparently didn't do it as enthusiastic as one of my other listeners who spotted it wanted to see, and the name Richie Stickers was born.
Richie.
What's up?
And so you got to be a hell of a lot more enthusiastic when you're handing stickers out to kids.
I'm
man.
100% confident with myself to the point where whatever.
So where is that
interpretation
guy? Is
got
he here?
Was completely wrong.
Jay Quest, he's in the chat.
We have Jay Quest.
He's the man that made all this happen. And
We
then
have
when,
Richie stickers.
and then I brought Jay Quest on to confront Richie over this, and Jay Quest backpedaled like prime Darrell Revis. I mean,
I love it.
unbelievable. His hamstrings still probably hurt to
I
this
love it.
day. He just walked it all back.
He's walked it all back, Rich.
Yeah, man.
I love it. Well, Jake, man, I appreciate you having me.
Dan,
I'm
thanks
gonna
for
grab
coming on.
myself a bite to eat. Rich,
Go
see
get
you
some
soon.
bounty wings, man. I need to get some of those.
I love it. Here's what we're going to do.
It's an abomination of Bills.
We'll wrap the show. Let's bring on our producer for the week. Justin, sit down here. So this is Justin Morris.
Here we go, Justin.
He's one of Roundtable Sports' star interns. I was talking with Richie, and he's like, hey, we got a guy. We're trying to get him out here. And I'm like, well, I'm looking for some extra help this week. So, Richie, you made it happen to have Justin come out here. What type of producer am I getting on the Jake Asman Show at Radio Row and Justin Morris here?
So Justin Morris is an ace for our Roundtable Sports internship program that we launched last summer. And the cool thing about Justin is he is a loyal AFC East Roundtable subscriber. He was with us since we started back in 2020. He's a Buffalo Bills fan. He watched
Go
us for the
Bills.
last 4 or 5 years. Oh, that's not good. He watched us for like 4 or 5 years, and then he reached out when we opened up the internship. I really hit it off with him in our first interview, and he's been doing articles for Roundtable Sports. He's helping planning events for all the Roundtable Sports events that we did. He helped with the Mobile, Alabama situation. And then when Jake's like, yeah, I need a guy for the Super Bowl, I have an extra credential, I thought of Justin right away, and this is day number 1 here at Radio Row, Justin.
What do you think, man? You taking it all in?
It's definitely surreal. You know, this is my first time at the Super Bowl, walking around the media row, looking around everything, seeing the Pat McAfee show, seeing PFF. It feels surreal. I'm excited for day 2, day 3, day 4. Unfortunately, it's where us Bills and Jets fans can, come together is that's the Patriots that are here. And,
As usual.
And yes, as usual. And we didn't want the Chiefs for so long. We're hammering no Chiefs. And then, of course, the evil empire comes back, and it's the Patriots. So
Now we miss the Chiefs.
Yeah.
It's sad. So for those who follow at Jake Asman Show on Instagram and Twitter and the TikTok, Justin will be posting a lot of photos and kind of behind the scenes with our guests that we have on the show, pictures of our setup here. So Justin's handling all of it. We'll take good care of them, and we're going to make sure you have a good experience when you're out here. I'm going to need you to be kind of like a man on the street. We see like Breece Hall walking by here. You're going to run up to him with that mic and hand it to him so we can get him on the show.
yeah, of course. I'm excited to meet some Jets players.
We got Hendon Hooker coming on tomorrow, Richie.
Oh, yeah, really?
I don't know if he's technically still on the Jets anymore, but he was. So we'll ask him about the
I mean, he
level of
posted-
dysfunction.
I saw his Instagram, and he posted like 20 pictures of him in a Jets uniform. So I think he's a Jet, baby.
He might still be on the Jets. Well, I want to thank both of you for coming on and being our first guest. This was awesome. We're going to have live content throughout the week. If the Jets hire an OC, which I suspect they will at some point, Richie will bring you back on to get your initial reaction.
Well, Jake, I just got to say this. Thank you for having me on. And I want to give a huge shout out to all the Asmaniacs, for everybody that shows my boy Jake all the love that he deserves on the Jake Asman Show. You guys are absolutely awesome. And I cannot thank you guys enough for supporting my boy Jake. He deserves it. So thank you guys so much. Hit the thumbs up button for Jake. And a big shout out to everybody in the live chat. Okay. We really do appreciate you guys tuning on in. Much love here live from Radio Row, baby. Representing the Jets here at the Super Bowl Media Week.
Someone's got to do it. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I will wrap up the show, our first of many live streams from Radio Row. Again, Richie from Jets Media, our producer extraordinaire, Justin Morris, and thanks again to Dan Mitchell, Mr. Bill, for stopping by. Back right after this. Now, Richie, we have to address something that has come to light on this show. I had a listener of mine, and he claims that when a young kid came up to you at a training camp practice, you gave this young fan a sticker, but you weren't enthusiastic enough to the young fan that came up to you. And Jay Quest was very, very upset. He was disgusted with your actions. And I want to make it clear, I don't believe this to be true. But now they're calling you the sticker king in the chat, and this continues to take on a life of its own.
Gator, I'm scared to see what this is.
I'm Richie Stickers. Kiddies love my stickers. Jets Media subscribers all want my stickers. Here's my kick-ass sticker. Now leave me the hell alone, bitches.
I'm becoming the sticker guy. Oh my God. We got a banger sent over from Gator. I am strapped up with stickers, and if anybody comes up to me, you get a sticker. I didn't know it was becoming a thing, though.
I'm Richie Stickers.
Does anybody watching this have a sticker that I gave them in person?
Just unbelievable what's happening here. So, Richie, I want you to respond to those who are questioning you.
I mean, I don't know where this accusation's coming from. I did not know that this is turning into the first time seeing that edit from Gator.
Jake is a fucking pot stirrer, bro. Dude, I did not shit on you. It was in the middle of practice, right? So you were at the top with Ryan and some creepy old guy. Who was that dude that was stalking you guys? Some kid came up to you. I wasn't saying you were mean, but it was I thought the kid was so hyped to see you. His smile on his face was so excited. But he said, here's a sticker. And I felt like the kid was I don't know. I felt like he wanted to dab you up and wanted a picture. It's not a big deal. I saw it, but it wasn't like you were a douchebag. You just gave him a sticker. And I felt like he was a little let down. That's all.
I think I remember exactly what you're talking about. One kid came up to me to show me his phone. He's like, this is you. You're on TikTok. I gave him a sticker. His friend came up. He wants another sticker. So I'm like, yeah, of course, man. Have a sticker.
I'll tell you this. This is my analogy. Meeting the Jet content creators like meeting a fluffer at a porn set, right? You're there to see the Jets. That kid was acting like he saw a porn star when he saw you. He was so excited, dude. He fucking loved it. The chat took over. You know how these fucking chats are. They go crazy.
Jake Quest, nothing but love and respect to you, my friend. Appreciate you coming on Jake's show and speaking how you feel, because I got no bad blood against you, my friend, at all.
Jake, stop being a douche there, Jake.
Richie Stickers.
Jay Quest, your hamstrings must hurt from that back pedal. Wow. Subscribe to Richie. You might get a sticker if you see him in public. Oh, there was no sound. Hold on. We're working through some tech issues here. Now you guys should be able to hear me just fine. Just to give you guys an update on the content, we're going to try and do at least one long show throughout the week each day. There could be breaking news with the Jets. So when that happens, we will adjust accordingly. But we're going to have guests on. We're going to have surprise guests on. If Breece Hall, for example, is walking behind me, we got the mic, run it up to him, bring him on the show. So it's going to be a crazy couple of days here. If you guys remember last year, we had Gary Vee on, Brandon Marshall on, Brian Baldinger on. I'm trying to remember some of our amazing guests. It was stacked, though, and Vegas was crazy as well. So be on the lookout, man. Be on the lookout. Again, we have a sick raffle prize in honor of the Super Bowl. The top prize is a signed Joe Namath helmet. Not signed, but a replica game ticket display for Super Bowl III, signed Garrett Wilson helmet, signed Joe Klecko jersey, signed CJ Mosley jersey. I added 5 total prizes for the raffle. We're going to target Friday to do it live from the Super Bowl. So make sure you guys enter. Gift memberships. You guys can see we're working with a 2-cam setup. I got the 2-shot for the guest, and then I got the solo shot. Hold on. You guys couldn't hear me there. Bear with me as I'm working through some of the tech stuff to kind of figure out how we're going to make the 2-camera shot work and come to life this week. Right now, we're just on the regular NFL Wi-Fi, and hopefully this will remain strong throughout the week so I don't have to spend $1,100 to buy Wi-Fi. That's terrible. I'm just catching up on some of the comments here. Genergy says, Jakey, Richie, dynamic duo. That's right. Thank you again to Richie Stickers, Richie from Jets Media, for joining us. Amanda Madison wrote in, Fernando's perfect for the Jets, in my opinion. I've never seen a more wholesome cutie patootie in my life that's genuinely obsessed with football, on top of being such a team player. Ugh, Raiders are so lucky. I know. They are. Diagonal for me is the Raiders setup. I'll show you guys. The flagship station for the Raiders is out here. We'll be joined by my friend Q Myers, who I work with at ESPN. Get some insights from him. But we are in the convention center. I just realized I could go like this on my own. We got the Super Bowl sign behind me here. I'll be looking at Sam Darnold all week, trying to manifest him playing well and beating the Pats in the game on Sunday. So right now, up to you to call in. Open phone lines. The latest with the Jets, we are awaiting an offensive coordinator to be named. We know the Jets have 3 in-person interviews early this week. That's probably today and tomorrow with Frank Reich, Greg Roman, and Darrell Bevel. Those are the 3 finalists of the 5 they interviewed. And again, they're going with experience, clearly. And that's what they're doing here. So those are the names. Those are the candidates. Call in right now if you want in on the show. The Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline link is pinned. We're talking Jets. We're talking Super Bowl. Whatever is on your mind. I appreciate you guys being a part of the show. What did you guys think of Daniel Jeremiah saying the buzz he heard down in Mobile from people is that the Jets are going to try and trade up to number 1? Me personally, I'm not surprised. I don't think it's going to matter, though. Wayne wants to know, is Mad Max on Radio Row? Is Mad Max on Radio Row?
Good job.
Can you guys hear me?
Can you hear me?
Good job.
Good job.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I don't think Mad Max is on Radio Row, but his presence is felt. Speaking of Mad Max, if you were not watching my show the other day, well, let me tell you, you missed the full Mad Max experience. Enjoy.
This is a man that is revered in this community.
Hey, Jake, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Max.
Good job. Honestly, Jake, can you guys hear me?
Jeffrey Epstein.
Can you hear me?
Good job.
Good job. Thank you, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Good job.
So, Jake, anyway,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, God.
Good job.
Jesus Christ.
Can you hear me, Max?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Good job.
Good job.
Can you hear me?
I got 2 different people talking to me. Jeez.
Good job.
I got Darren Muji on my mind. Someone in the chat said if he has a lights out draft, Aaron Glenn might get to 5 wins.
Can you hear me?
And I can hear you, Max.
Good job. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can't. Is it only one of you, or is this just another echo?
Good job.
Anyway,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you big time.
Somebody cut the goddamn shit down.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but I can't see your mouth moving.
Keep up the good work, Max. The Asmaniacs love you.
Good job. Can you hear me?
What is that goddamn echo?
So anyway, Jake, Muji,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You're a good guy, Max. Seems like you come from a good family and you're going to do great things in life.
Good job.
Do a good job.
Someone needs to get their ass whipped with Uncle Vincenzo if they don't put the shit down.
Can you hear me? Beast is probably going to pop a blood vessel.
So anyway, Muji,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, buddy.
Good job.
Have some fun, guys. Come on.
Can you hear me?
We got 2 different Maxes talking at the same time. We don't know who the hell's talking. This is really getting out of hand.
So anyway, Jake, Muji, so what happens if he has a really good year this year? The Jets get 5 wins.
Good job.
So he's under contract, and is there an out? I want Muji to really elevate the team the next so many years. Like if other teams are after him, could they go after him next year?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Max. Yeah.
Good job.
Somebody needs to get rid of Aaron Glenn. He's the worst coach in American history.
Can you hear me?
I can't see your lips moving.
Good job.
Don't do the Aaron Glenn dance. You got to make your own moves.
You know, Aaron Glenn's the worst Jets coach. The only good thing he's good at is the salsa dancing. It's the salsa dance. It's all that.
I think Max is terrific.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Good job.
Thank you, Max.
Good job.
I could be probably your grandfather. I don't know. You're a good kid, buddy.
David T, you're the man.
Thank you, Jake.
David T, an all-time great.
Good job.
I was an all-time great performance.
Can you hear me?
By one of the legends of this community.
Can you hear me? Good job. Good job. Can you hear me? Just amazing. Shout out to David T. Oh, my hair is a mess. That's why we usually wear hats. Headset hair is a real thing. Appreciate all of you tuned in. We're live from Super Bowl LX inside the Moscone Convention Center here in downtown San Francisco. Bo writes in, is Bart Scott really looking to coach our LBs? I've done radio shows with Bart. We talked about this. Bart's got a kid that is in high school right now. He's not going to coach until his kids are either in college or through college. Now, if Rex Ryan was the Jet coach and Rex called him, would Bart do it? I think he would. But he's not going to coach for Aaron Glenn. I don't see it. I just don't see it. All right, let's get to some calls here before we wrap up our first Super Bowl live stream. I'm going to be taping some great interviews throughout the day on the program here. You'll see some familiar names on the show. Two of our guests we'll have on this week. I think will excite Jet fans. Connor Rogers and Joe Caparoso each will be sitting right here at some point during the week. On that note, let's get to some of your calls, shall we? On the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline, up first today is a man where you predict where he is calling us from. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Kyle Clifton.
Jay, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Good job. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
All right. Watch this. There we go.
So I would like to continue the discussion we had on ESPN radio the other day. Due to the limits of terrestrial radio and the time constraints, I want to kind of dive back into the prospect of Malik Willis, if you will indulge me for a second. Now, you are of the opinion that he's going to have other options, particularly Miami, correct?
Correct. I think Miami would make logically the most sense, just given the ties to the Packer organization now in charge in South Beach.
So I did notice that they are 22 over the cap with Tua and Tyreek still on their books. So we're under the impression they're going to tear that whole thing down, right?
Correct. But you know this as much as I. If they want a player, there's always a way to manipulate your cap to get that player.
Right. But it still has to make sense in the whole context of team building, right? Like, I agree. If they were one player away, yeah, absolutely. You know, by hook or by crook, go get that player. But I don't know if they're in that position. I think a team like Arizona makes a little bit more sense because they need a quarterback, and they're bringing in a young offensive mind as well. If they think that they can also ties to Green Bay, right? In a sense, I'm just trying to think about what other options he would have out there, because the one thing the Jets can do is that they can overwhelm that first year with some money and kind of structure it so they can walk away after that first year, after the audition year.
What about Minnesota?
And they would be reticent to do that after they just had the reclamation project go so badly. But it's an option, and desperate times do call for desperate measures. I don't like, if we really think that Glenn is approaching this year like he must win. And, you know, I've heard people say that they think that Malik Willis is going to be a superstar. I don't necessarily think that, right? But I'm just interested. I'm just interested to hear a little bit more about what other teams might have interest off the top of your head.
Yeah, I mean, I think Miami, you start with them. I've heard Atlanta could be interested. If they cut Cousins, they need an answer with Penix's injury. I think the Vikings with J.J. McCarthy for sure, right? Now that, O'Connell's there, all of a sudden, are they going to look to add a quarterback? What's Pittsburgh's plan at quarterback, right? I mean, wouldn't it be possible Mike McCarthy would want Malik Willis as well? Right? I don't think it's a lock Rodgers plays just because McCarthy's there, he might hang it up. I just think there's a lot of other options. So the only way for the Jets to get a player like that would be to severely overpay, and then it gets to a point where does Woody Johnson want them to make that type of aggressive move? I don't know. I think there's a lot of factors with trying to just say sign Malik Willis because you're just going to overpay for him. Like this might be his one chance to get paid, but I think he's going to get paid by a bunch of teams that might be a better situation necessarily than what the Jets are. Like I don't know if Malik Willis's decision is only money oriented. I think there's other teams that could pay him pretty well too.
So I'm not saying go get Malik Willis. I'm saying that it's very interesting because for every team that you can kind of throw out there, except for maybe the Vikings, and I think that in Arizona, they're like the argument against Pittsburgh is they are traditionally draft and develop quarterback teams, right? That they're not the guys that go out in free agency and make that kind of splash. And then when you look at Atlanta, they already have two guys in the fold that they're gonna have dead money with that they would have to kind of reckon with, and basically, I understand that Penix is hurt and then he probably he can't be back until November at the earliest, right?
Yeah, I mean maybe a little earlier than that, but he got hurt late in the year, did he not? And it's like his third time he's tore his ACL.
Yeah, I mean there's a lot of moving parts with that situation. And I think that his destination is going to really dictate a lot about how teams proceed after free agency. Like, it's going to bring a lot more clarity to, you know, what teams with their given draft. Now we know that the draft position, are they more willing to, you know, lay out for Simpson or wait for Nussmeier or that? I think he's kind of a linchpin to the whole thing. Oddly enough, after a rookie year that was less than auspicious, he's kind of built back his reputation a little bit. So I wanted to kind of talk through that with you, and I appreciate you taking a few minutes to indulge me with it.
I love it, Kyle. Great call as usual. I'm going to need you this week. All right, the schedule's going to be crazy. The people are demanding more Clifton. I was reading the Discord, and the Asmaniac Madness Committee, let's just say, is very fond of you, Kyle Clifton.
Oh, really? Well, you know, I have a special place in my heart for some of those guys as well. You know, it's all dependent on the demands that work is putting upon me. But you know, whenever I can, I'm gonna call in. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Let's go, Kyle Clifton, everybody. One of the all-time greats. One of the all-time greats. We're live from the Super Bowl. If you couldn't tell, Boomtown goes, shh. Yeah, I can't keep my mouth closed, Boomtown. I am very excited though about Asmaniac Madness. We're going to lock in an official date for the selection committee to announce who's seated where, what the brackets specifically look like. It's going to be crazy. It is going to be wild. Oh, you know what? The table to our left is the NFL alumni table. I wonder if we get any NFL alumni New York Jets that will be right here. Want to poach them, bring them on the show. We got the lay of the land. We got Richie over here. Hold on. There he is. Richie's doing his thing. He's working hard. You see, this is the stuff you don't see. You see all the glitz and the glamour, people in front of the camera. What you don't see is all the hours behind the scenes spent editing and uploading and everything else that happens here. Speaking about things that happen behind the scenes, ladies and gentlemen, this man woke up from his nap and he's ready to bring it.
Why don't start of this, Jake? How are you? How is that? How's San Francisco? How was your flight?
The flight was magical, Beast.
What'd you get for breakfast?
I have not had any breakfast.
They must have forgot to serve it on the flight then. Well, I'm gonna say this right now, and no, Justin Fields, we don't need him. He's a garbage can. You could toss that another one on the dust pile. But we're going to keep eyes on two different players, Batman Bane, and we're gonna keep our eyes on Mendoza. If we get one of them, we're gonna be just fine.
Do you know
But Aaron
Batman
Glenn has
Bane's
to go.
actual first name, Beast?
I prefer to call him Batman Banes because he looks like a weird Batman, but
Say that again. Batman Banes?
yeah, Batman Banes.
I believe you mean Bane.
Yeah, Batman Bane. I'm Batman. But I'm gonna
Yeah,
tell
but
you
he's
right
not
now,
Batman.
this team
He's
needs
the,
a
Bane is the villain from Batman.
Well, it sounds good. It's not that bad. But
Now, what's Batman Bane's first name?
I have no idea. I'll have to look it up later. But I don't keep up with all that because
Ruben.
Ruben. Oh, I see that.
Hey, you like
a
Reuben sandwiches? Yeah.
I've never had a Reuben sandwich. I've heard they're good, but I'll take a look into it sometime. It's just right now I've been keeping my eye on chicken cutlets and a lot of other different sandwiches I want to try because there's a lot of things to try out still. And plus, I've been keeping my eye. Oh, you guys have been signing up some good talent. You Yankees are getting some good talent this year.
Yankees.
I've been doing some reading on that in the New York
What have they
Post.
done? They have the same team as last year.
You guys re-signed Cody Bellinger.
Right.
You guys are already looking at some prospects from Milwaukee, Pittsburgh, and also Houston. You guys are starting to get smart. See, that's called. You guys know what you're doing. You guys.
Thank you, Beast. What a call. Lane Train in the house. How do you feel about the Jets? Lane, I don't feel great about the Jets, if I'm being honest.
They don't know what the they're doing. Do you understand that?
That's kind of what it feels like right now. But hey, I'm a Jet fan till I die. So what choice do I have? Pino writes in, get ready for Flacco, Tyrod, and a rookie in 2026. You're not wrong. The Meadowlands Swamp Thing writes in, tell Beast to stop dodging me, Jake. Is the Beast dodging you? Let me ask him. Beast, are you dodging Meadowlands Swamp Thing?
Oh, I'm busy right now. I got better things to do. Take a rain check. And remember these words. Leave a message at the beep. Beep. Or if I want to do Ric Flair, I can just go. That had a kick to it.
All right. Last chance here. I'm going to go take some interviews with some media friends of mine. So you guys will have a bunch of stuff dropping on the channel. I do want to plug this. Yesterday on my second to last radio show of the season with Mike Tannenbaum, we had Rich Cimini on and Field Yates. So both those interviews are posted up on the channel. The Field one I put up this morning, it's already got over 5,000 views. The Cimini interview from yesterday already has over 11,000 views. So if you are looking for more content, very Jet specific on the draft from Field and the latest on the OC search and what Cimini is personally hearing, you could check that out. Both are already up on the channel, so keep that in mind. Comments, questions, super chats, they cut the line. Appreciate all of you for tuning in here. We're live from Radio Row, the Moscone Convention Center here in San Fran. Things are happening. Sets are being built. Like, look at this. You can see it all coming to life, including Richie Stickers, still hard at work. FanDuel's got their giant-ass set over there. This direction, we have more stations galore. I mean, it is a experience. Anytime you're at a Super Bowl Radio Row, that is for sure. This is my 7th Super Bowl that I've been lucky to broadcast from since I started my career. First one was in Houston for the Patriots and Falcons Super Bowl. Let's see how many I've been to that have been the Patriots. It's disgusting. It's either the Patriots or Chiefs every time. It's gross. So let's see. The first one was Patriots, Falcons. Second one was Patriots, Eagles. Third one was Patriots, Rams. Fourth one was, no, I forgot, Niners and Chiefs. Then Patriots, Rams. I got the order mixed. Then we did, who's the one in Vegas? The Chiefs again? I don't know. I got them all mixed up, but it's either been the Chiefs or the Patriots, I think, in all of them. which is just unfortunate. Rich says, hit the like. Thank you, Rich. Frank says, have a great time, Jake. Frank, I don't know what happened to the UPS. They screwed up your Joe Namath bobblehead, and that really angers me. So we'll get to the bottom of it, but I'm going to send you a make good prize. Frank won a Joe Namath Super Bowl III bobblehead, and we sent it out to him, and it came broken, which is completely unacceptable. So, Frank, I sincerely apologize. We'll make that up to you because that is ridiculous. Dick Chimney says, Reuben Sandwich Batman Baines. Hey, Beast, how would you feel if the Jets selected Reuben Sandwich Batman Baines?
Oh, that's weird. Now I'm in the Twilight Zone. Oh.
Thank you, Beast. That really answered my question. Anyway, last chance to get in here. What do you guys want to know? What do you guys want to talk about? We're live from the Super Bowl. First long-form show of the day, and we're going to have plenty of content throughout the week. It is only Monday. We're here broadcasting through Friday. Again, appreciate all of you. A little news that just broke. I see Davis Webb has been promoted to OC of the Broncos. No surprise. A year from now, Davis Webb is going to be a legitimate head coaching candidate for a lot more teams. He's an offensive guy, former quarterback, kind of fits the mold of what people are looking for. Be on the lookout for that because it's coming. It is most definitely coming. I think the Jets need to hire an offensive guy, preferably with experience. But if you are going to hire another first-time head coach, it has to be an offensive guy. And Davis Webb would fit the bill. Phenom says, what's happening, Jake, in the place to be, Radio Row. Phenom, you got to call in again, man. We miss you. We miss Phenom's electric voice. He makes it all happen. Speaking of voices, I have an announcement to make. We're live from the Super Bowl, bitches. Yeah.
Hi, everybody. This is Bob from Vermont. I am Bob, of course.
Hey, Bobby Midnight, where are you at? I heard you and Gator have some beef, and I want to legislate it. So this is a message to Bob from Vermont. Call in this week. We have lots to discuss. All right, you guys are the best. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you to Richie and Dan Mitchell and our producer extraordinaire, Justin Morris, for guest starring on our first show. We got a lot coming your way. I'm going to start recording some interviews that you guys will see dropping throughout the week on the channel. Some of them will air live. We'll go with the flow. We got a lot to talk about. Later in the week, we will talk certainly more about the game. And really, this is the stuff that people care the most about. The prop bets. What color's the Gatorade going to be poured on, hopefully, Mike McDonald when Seattle wins on Sunday? You could bet on it at FanDuel. We'll break that down for you throughout the week. Again, love all of you. Thanks for making it possible to do live shows from the Senior Bowl, live shows from the Super Bowl, and live shows from the Combine. This will be the third straight year we broadcast from both Super Bowl and Combine. You guys make it all possible. So grateful to the audience, certainly for that. Let me know down in the comments as soon as the show ends, your thoughts, Jet fans, on the Jets trying to trade up to number one. Could you actually see it? Yay or no?
Hello, Jake. I just had dinner. I had a couple of servings of chicken soup, my mother's homemade chicken soup.
Hey, Charles, I need some of that chicken soup.
It was delicious.
I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah, I know it's delicious. I need some of it.
I love to eat, so what can I say?
Send it this way, Charles.
I was not expecting. I love this show, man. We got the best callers. We really do.
Oh, hi. Jake wants me to ask you to click on the like button.
That's right, Lane. And if they don't subscribe to the Jake Asman Show, this team may never win another game. Let's go, Jets.